The Golden State Warriors are now 4-1 in the Jimmy Butler era, and the way they looked tonight was of a team that's taking things seriously. Folks, whatever the Warriors were before Jimmy Butler, we're going to move on. The team that we see now is legit. They just leapfrogged the Sacramento Kings. By the way, I'm looking out my window right now. I don't see it. Nope. There ain't no beam in Northern California tonight. Shut that beam down. The Warriors, incredibly, have beaten another team from California for the first time all season. Let's break it all down next. This is the Golden Days.
They always find something to nitpick, and that's because there's expectations for us to win. It was a pretty crazy night.
Let's go. In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up. Come on and break me off. 'Cause I get what I want and I like what I see. If you got
That's Warriors basketball that we have been waiting. Welcome to a Friday night live edition of Golden Days. You made it through another week, folks. Congratulations. And what a way to start the weekend, celebrating with the Golden State Warriors dominating the Sacramento Kings. Folks, this was a blowout. And it was a blowout that became so in the third quarter as the Warriors just pulled away. The Warriors played the style of ball, a brand of basketball that contending teams play. And unlike the first two meetings between the Warriors and Kings this season, the Warriors come away victorious 132-106, the final. I couldn't believe Bob Fitzgerald, what he said at the end of tonight's broadcast, that this was the first time all season where the Golden State Warriors have beaten another team in California. They were 0-2 against the Kings, winless against the Clippers, winless against the Lakers, winless against the San Diego Clippers. I'm kidding. They didn't play that team. But the point is, times have changed for the Golden State Warriors. Winning basketball, consistently winning basketball, common sense basketball. It's back. The young players are playing beautiful ball. Stephen Curry looks reinvigorated. Buddy Hield is even making his shots. Brandin Podziemski's sophomore slump is a thing of the past. What's going on here? I'll tell you what's going on. The Warriors dynasty is still alive and doing well. And we're going to get into it tonight. After we give some love, first and foremost, to our sponsors. And yes, I will absolutely bring the audience on the show tonight. There's going to be a lot to talk about. We got some sound to play, got a standings update to give you after we give some love to the folks who are supporting this program financially. First up, Humboldt County, my former home, an area of California that I called home for 2 years when I was a student at Humboldt State University, a school they now call Cal Poly Humboldt. It's paradise. I don't know how else to spin it. I haven't lived in Humboldt County in 18 years, 28 years, 20. Jesus, man, I'm getting old. It's been 28 years since I've called Humboldt home. Yet in the past 28 years, I have made it a mission to cruise up there at least once a year because of the beauty, the fresh air, even the water tastes good. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, if you're a lover of nature, check out Humboldt County as a tourist destination. Over half of our audience is in the San Francisco Bay Area. The Warriors just played the Kings. There might be a few Kings fans swallowing their lumps and seeing what the celebratory side of tonight's game is doing. Wherever you are in Northern California, Humboldt is not a far drive. And here's the deal. It's about 3 to 4 hours you're going to be on the road. The last part of the drive, you're going through what I like to describe as an emerald forest, if you will. It's literally just green, giant redwoods, tree stumps that are bigger than your vehicle, and then you end up in the coastal enclave of Eureka, Arcata, and there's so many other towns around there. Check out visithumboldt.com for more information, or shoot me a DM. I will be your tour guide We're going to do a show, I think, live from up there in the near future. So I'm going to try to get a setup where you can see behind me from the city of Shelter Cove. It's going to be an ocean view, a sunset. You're going to want to go check out Humboldt as well. Visit Humboldt.com. Today's episode also brought to you by Dr. Tom Rosanelli, whose entire mission in life, gentlemen, is to make you look good and feel good, especially when it comes to your hair. If the hair is thinning, if you're losing it, don't just accept it. Don't just get depressed about it. Don't strike out left and right on the dating scene. Don't get weird looks from your spouse or partner looking at your scalp going, what's going on there? Take care of yourself. Make yourself look good and feel good, and give Dr. Tom Rosanelli a call. He has an incredible client list of Bay Area athletes, artists, broadcasters. If they're prominent and they've needed hair restoration, they visited Dr. Tom Rosanelli. Call him at 415-931-9881. Again, the number is 415-931-9881, or visit the website rosanelli.com for a free consultation for a doctor who has impeccable reviews on Yelp. I think he's got a 4.6 out of 5 on Yelp out of nearly 50 reviews. On Google, he has a perfect score, 5 out of 5 when it comes to reviews. The good doctor is the man. And if you mention Rick Barry's name, you get a $500 discount because we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Warriors winning the 1975 World Championship. Rick Barry is a former client of Dr. Rosanelli, and save $500. Just mention Rick Barry's name or the program, and you'll save that chunk of money. Again, 415-931-9881, or visit rosanelli.com. A beautiful head of hair awaits you. Almost there, folks. Thank you for bearing with us. Today's episode brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code GSW for a free pick and up to $1,000 in welcome bonus cash. I forgot to make my picks tonight in case you were wondering, like, where were size selections? Which players was he riding with? I just forgot. It was my bad. Apologies for that. I will post my picks on a consistent basis, though. So check me out on social media to see what I'm selecting. The premise is very easy. Minimum of 2 players, maximum of 8 players. And it's all about higher or lower than. It's fun. It's legal in California. I've been winning money. And if you follow my picks, hopefully you'll win too. Again, Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code GSW. And last but not least, Bet Online, the world's most trusted betting platform. The Golden State Warriors easily covered the spread tonight. They were favored by, I believe, 2 points over the Sacramento Kings on the road, and they end up winning tonight's game by 26 points. So they covered. And if you were riding on this game with Bet Online, congratulations. The world's most trusted betting platform hopefully won you money. And the game, folks, it starts here with Bet Online. The Warriors. How about them Warriors? They took care of business. The Sacramento Kings should not be as daunting of an opponent as they have been for the Warriors, especially this season. And you're really starting to see the perks, the benefits of a Jimmy Butler presence on this Warriors team. The dude is fantastic. And he scores the quietest points imaginable. Like, for example, I don't remember a single Jimmy Butler field goal from this game. I'm trying to think back. Can't think of one. I don't know if he hit a 3, and no, he did not. I'm looking at the box score now. No, he hit 5 field goals. His presence is so subtle yet impactful. And 17 points for Jimmy Butler in this game. I would say the 7 assists were more prevalent and important on a night like this, given how much he was involving his teammates. The 7 free throw attempts, maybe equally important as the assist. He was a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line. The Jimmy Butler experience is phenomenal. It's awesome. If you're not giddy right now, if you're a Warriors fan and you're not literally containing yourself, holding yourself back from jumping out of your seat, from being the menace in your household, who's a fan of a dynasty at the peak of their powers, get started. You can get excited about this team. It is worthwhile. Yes, Pinoy reformat. Writes, blowing out the Kings and the Warriors look like a playoff team. You are damn right. Oh my gosh, my mom is joining us tonight. If that is you, Mom, Hi, Mom. Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, folks, my mom sometimes joins the chat, apparently, and my mom is now a Golden Dazer. Thank you, Mom. And thank you to the Golden State Warriors for making every member of Dub Nation very happy tonight. Again, following a 132-106 win over the Sacramento Kings. And the success, the scoring, the production, it was spread out. I mentioned Jimmy Butler scoring 17 points tonight, was not the leading scorer of this team. You might be surprised who the leading scorer was. It was actually a tie between two players. It was not Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry finished the game with 20 points on this night, added 6 assists and 1 rebound. He was 4 of 9 shooting from 3 as well. Steph looks happy, does he not? He did not lead the team in scoring with 20 points. Brandin Podziemski had a fantastic game. We're going to talk a lot about him tonight because it wasn't just the offense that looked good. His defensive assignment was Malik Monk, a player that normally eviscerates the Golden State Warriors. Malik Monk played 30 minutes tonight and 11 seconds and scored 13 points on 6 of 11 shooting, 1 of 4 from deep. That stat is not great. But normally Malik Monk looks like a Hall of Famer when the Sacramento Kings play the Golden State Warriors. Tonight, 13 points. And a lot of the credit defensively goes to Brandin Podziemski. That was his assignment. He was asked about that from various reporters leading up to the game, and he took that assignment with pride. He knew how important it was to perform at an elite level defensively, let alone on the offensive side as a starter for this team. He had a great game. The Brandin Podziemski that was slumping early this season, I can't remember if in the chat if it was Bruce Morrow or maybe it was Kai17. Somebody was bringing up the fact that Brandin Podziemski's struggles at the early part of this season coincided almost directly with the broken nose and the mask. And he was clearly miserable with that thing. And since he's been healthy, since he has not had to wear this thing on his face, which affected his peripherals, his vision, he's been playing some damn good ball. And besides the great defense tonight, Brandin Podziemski played 30 minutes, 7 seconds, had 21 points, a plus 21 in net rating, added 5 assists tonight, added 3 rebounds tonight. Yet, despite scoring 21 points, Brandin Podziemski was not the leading scorer. The leading scorer tonight for the Golden State Warriors, if you have not looked at your box score yet, if you're watching or listening to this without seeing the details, you may or may not be surprised that 2 players were tied for leading the team in scoring tonight. One of those players is our player of the game, and that is Moses Moody. Moses Moody had himself an incredible night of basketball. 5 of 8 shooting from 3, 8 of 11 shooting from the field overall, meaning he was perfect from the field when he wasn't putting up 3-point attempts. Added 4 assists, added 2 rebounds. He was a plus 16 in net rating. 22 points for Moses Moody on a night where he played 28 minutes, 32 seconds. What a huge surprise that when these guys get minutes, they deliver. Sometimes you need consistent minutes to deliver consistent production. And Moses Moody is a perfect example of that, a perfect case study of that. Again, 22 points tonight on 5 of 8 shooting from 3. Now, who tied with him for the team lead in scoring tonight? Mr. Buddy Hield. Yes, Mr. Buddy Hield, who scored 22 points. I'd love if someone in the chat could provide an update because I don't have the stat on me right now. But if someone has an update in the chat on what the Warriors' record is now when Buddy Hield scores 18 or more points in a game, I'd love to see that because I've seen mixed numbers in recent weeks. I read somewhere that the Warriors have 1 loss when Buddy Hield has scored 18 or more points. I saw another stat that showed they were still undefeated. I don't know. Either the Warriors are something like 10-1 or 11-0 when Buddy Hield scores 18 or more. He scored 22 points tonight. And both him and Moody and Podziemski, their buckets in the first half particularly, because this was a close game early on. The score at the end of the first half had the Warriors leading by 15, which is a healthy margin. But again, I think they led by 17 at the half. The last time the Warriors played the Kings, don't quote me on that exact number, but it was in that range. And the Kings came back and defeated the Warriors the last time they played. Completely just evaporated that big lead by the Warriors. So there was some consternation from the fan base tonight when the Warriors went into the half with a 15-point lead, thinking to yourself, probably, I'm not feeling so great about this. The Kings have a lot of good outside shooting. They're explosive. They could easily come back and erase that margin. And they did start the third quarter on a run to make it a single-digit lead for the Golden State Warriors, but clutch shooting, clutch scoring, clutch plays from Podziemski, from Moody, from Buddy. They were, every time the Kings started to make a run, one of those three guys hit a huge bucket to stem the momentum. It wasn't just them, by the way. Quentin Post, whose dad was seeing him play for the first time ever in the NBA. That's what Quentin Post said, I believe, at a halftime interview. He had a great night tonight. Perfect 3 of 3 shooting from deep. He played 13 minutes, 42 seconds in this game. In those 13 minutes and change, he was a plus 19 in net rating. I wish we saw more minutes from him, but I'll take what we get. And he was hitting some huge buckets on this night. Finished with 9 points and 5 rebounds for Quentin Post. But these players were hitting huge buckets that normally, at least from my perspective, I'm accustomed to seeing Zach LaVine hit these big buckets. I'm accustomed to seeing DeMar DeRozan hit these big buckets. I'm accustomed to seeing Malik Monk hit these backbreakers that the Warriors just normally just look at and get demoralized. Tonight, that was not the case. Every time the Kings started to make a run like that, you had the Warriors providing answers. And again, so much of this stems from the fact that the Warriors have a player in Jimmy Butler who is now grabbing the attention of defenders. You can't triple team Steph anymore. You can't triple team Steph and then have a defender just shadow Buddy Hield everywhere and then just dare the Warriors to beat you with players like Draymond Green. No, Jimmy Butler has changed the entire dynamic of this offense. Other teams are now worried, panicked about multiple players offensively, and we haven't even seen Jonathan Kuminga come back. Again, not official. My prediction for Jonathan Kuminga is we're going to see him make his debut next Tuesday. This is going to be the Warriors and the Hornets. It's going to be a home game. I would not be surprised if that is when we see Jimmy Butler make his debut. Jonathan Kuminga make his debut. But this is some beautiful stuff. The Warriors dynasty is going strong. I'm feeling damn good about this team. And it does feel good to beat the Kings. The Kings have been getting a lot of ridiculous, borderline fluky wins over the Golden State Warriors lately. So to see the Dubs go into Golden One and lay the smackdown and shut that annoying fan base up for the night, it was beautiful. Made me feel good. I hope it made all of you feel good as well. And we're certainly going to get a lot of sound to play. I see Steve Kerr on my television right now addressing the media. We'll talk about that Sunday game as well. It's going to be the Warriors and the Mavericks, which has suddenly become a huge game in terms of the standings. We'll talk about that in just a moment. I'm going to open it up for the audience to come on board if you want to join the show and offer any takes. There's a link. The link is now available in the chat. Tim Ford is asking if Ryan Leong is going to join us tonight. No, because Ryan Leong joins us for the home game. So because the Warriors were in Sacramento, Ryan will not join us for that. So the only guests for this evening are going to be you. It's going to be the audience. And we already got folks joining us. Is Sean? I forget. Are you in Walnut Creek? Are you in Fremont? Am I close?
Yeah, Walnut Creek. Can you hear me?
There you go. Yes, I can. How are you doing, Sean? Good to see you.
I can't believe you literally accepted me right away. It's been like 2 seconds, and then you automatically accepted me. I was like, oh,
why not? Let's do it, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Just happy that the Warriors won, man. I thought, being only 2-point favorites, that the Warriors would, somehow manage to lose, but no, they just went crazy tonight. And they didn't let what happened last time they played the Kings in Golden One Center. They did not blow that lead, and they just took away. So for anyone thinking that this Jimmy Butler trade wouldn't work, it's like the complete opposite. And I was never against the Jimmy Butler trade because he is that guy.
Uh-huh.
Yes. I was never worried about Draymond and Jimmy Butler not getting along because Draymond respects Jimmy Butler, and he respected Chris Paul. Maybe he didn't respect Jordan Poole to a certain extent, but he definitely will respect, a player like Jimmy.
And look, he respected Jordan Poole. They just had an incident that was a very ugly incident, and it frayed the relationship, man. It made it irreparable. So it sucked. But the narrative of Draymond Green in terms of how he's viewed in the NBA is very different than the reality of the situation, which is that Draymond Green is a very popular peer in the NBA among the other players. There are exceptions, clearly. Nurkic, who's now with the Hornets. Yes, him and Draymond Green don't like each other. Jordan Poole and Draymond don't like each other. Rudy Gobert and Draymond don't like each other, but most NBA players hate Rudy Gobert. But you take away those anomalies, Draymond is a very popular individual, and Jimmy Butler made it very clear, man. Draymond likes to win. That is his focus, and he's got a very high basketball IQ. So they're getting along great. Speaking of Chris Paul, by the way, did you see that clip that's making the rounds on socials? I reposted it as well. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at Dog Wild, on Twitter at Surf Journalist, and I posted it on, I believe, on both those accounts, minimum on Twitter. But there was the Suns and the Spurs played, I think, just last night, and the Spurs came away victorious. Did you see the exchange between Chris Paul and Kevin Durant?
Yeah, I did. It's like you shouldn't try to get to KD's head, but
and it worked. And it worked. I mean, KD wanted to kill him after the game, and the Suns lost as well. So I bring that up largely because we just talked about Chris Paul, a former Warrior from a year ago, and him and Draymond got along great. It's Draymond can play with other type A's, man. That's not an issue. It's just, look, he is very passionate. He can be emotional. He's all about winning, and that's incredibly not what every NBA player is about, right? But that Draymond wants to win, man. That's his focus. And so far, him and Jimmy are playing fantastic ball together. I thought Draymond played great D tonight. Disrupted, I think it was like a 3-on-1 fast break where he was all by himself. Those are always one of my favorite basketball plays, is seeing Draymond being mismatched on fast breaks where he's all alone. And usually there's 2 or 3 opposing players running down the court, and he disrupts it anyways. That's how good of a defensive player he is. He did that again tonight. Mad on, man.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss for the Warriors. I'm sure you loved it as well, right?
Yeah, I loved it. And I'm just looking at the standings right now. Like, this is literally the perfect time for the Warriors to go on a run, because I'm looking at other teams' schedule. You got the Mavs playing the Warriors next. Side note, I'm just trying to say, every time there's a jersey retirement night, the home team always loses. I don't know if you noticed. Literally,
I did not know that. I got. So first of all, this was the third time the Warriors and the Kings played. The Warriors lost the first time they played, 129-99. That game was played, I believe, on January 5th. And then the game where the Warriors blew that halftime lead and they ended up losing 123-117. That was the second time they played, and that was just depressing. That was brutal. That's why tonight's game did not feel good until about, I say, late third quarter is when I think people, at least members of Dub Nation, started to breathe a sigh of relief because no lead is safe with this Kings team, man. So this one felt good. And that second game was January 22nd. Sean, and we got other people who want to come on. I'm going to get to you in just a moment. But one stat, Greg Morrison brought this up in the chat, and I'm really glad he did, because Greg Morrison mentions that the Warriors had 40 assists tonight. And I'm really glad you mentioned that, because the ball movement was spectacular, dude. When you look at the assists for the Warriors tonight as a whole, they got 40 for the Warriors, which is a very healthy number. You had Jimmy Butler with 7. You had Moses Moody with 4. You had Draymond with 9. Podziemski had 5. Stephen Curry had 6. Guy Santos, who I thought was playing some great basketball tonight, bringing the energy when they desperately needed. There was one particular play where it was him and Jake LaRavia, and they were fighting for a loose ball, and it ended up being a jump ball. And I don't think any other Warriors player would have even been in contention for that possession, but Guy Santos was hustling. He's a connector out there. Anyways, I bring him up because Guy had 3 assists as well. The ball movement was fantastic, Sean. What else is on your mind, if anything, man? I'm sorry to talk over you so much.
It's all good. Gooey was going nuts tonight. And the player of the game to me was Moses Moody. Hopefully Kerr got his ass shaken or something, so he starts playing him now for once. I don't know what he's going to do with Kuminga. I mean, Kuminga should get some, minutes restriction. So don't don't really be like, oh, no one should really be like, oh, he's not really playing that much like for the first couple of weeks or so, because it should be a minutes restriction. But after that, it's like he should be playing. He should be getting the leading minutes on the team, I think.
And the good news is, and I played this clip last episode of Steve Kerr, who was talking about what it's going to look like when Jonathan Kuminga comes back. And he's saying all the right things, where Steve Kerr said that he's going to play the best players, which is not something he's always done. But the fact that he's publicly admitting that Jonathan Kuminga is one of this team's best players, and he did say that you are going to see lineups where him, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green will be on the floor together. So what I'm trying to say here is that Steve Kerr does not appear to be delusional about what he has on this team and who the best players are. He's not going to let whatever personal issues he has with this roster in terms of spacing and whether or not he feels Jonathan Kuminga provides that, he's pushing that aside. And he said that publicly. Look, man, when you're trying to win a championship, which is where this team is, all the little gimmicky shit, all the cute creative stuff that you think you have going on, most of that is pushed aside for straight up common sense. Because look, if Steve Kerr decides to continue playing the wrong players based strictly off what his gut is telling him, it's going to be obvious that the problem is him. And I don't think Steve Kerr wants to be the scapegoat. I don't think Steve Kerr wants the finger pointed at him in terms of why the Warriors did not succeed when all said and done at the end of the season. He's smart enough to know that Jonathan Kuminga is one of the best players. All signs indicate, whether it's going to be him starting, whether it's going to be him closing. But, dude, like there was a moment in this game where Jonathan Kuminga was missed. I don't know if you noticed that as well. It was like in the second quarter. I just remember watching Steph was on the bench. The Kings were still in the game. I think it was just a single-digit lead for the Warriors. And there was a moment there where I remember thinking to myself, damn, dude, if Jonathan Kuminga was in this game right now, this would have been over from the start. Like teams are not going to be able to handle this Warriors team when Kuminga's back. It's too much firepower. It's too much talent. It's too much athleticism. Dude, I'm so pumped for this, man. How are you feeling?
I am too. Like I said earlier, it's just the perfect time for them to go on a run. Because, it's like maybe one game behind the Mavericks and the Timberwolves. Timberwolves are playing OKC back-to-back. So hopefully they lose those two. Obviously the Mavs are playing the Warriors and then the Lakers next. Again, like I'm not even joking. Every time that there is a retirement ceremony, the home team always seems to lose. I don't know why that is. I'm not saying anything, but I wouldn't be surprised. But who knows, man? Who knows?
we gotta stop the show here because Yiddy in the chat is asking if I could help him or her. I don't think you specify gender. Get laid. I can't. I'm really sorry. I would if I could. But wrong show, man. I don't have the connections to help you out there. Now that 5-alarm fire has been put out, in terms of at least addressing it, I obviously couldn't help you there. Look, the Sunday scenario you're talking about, Klay Thompson's back in the house. They're going to be retiring Andre Iguodala's jersey, number 9. That's going to go up in the rafters. My guess is the reason why teams struggle in these jersey retirement games is because you have this homecoming and players are distracted. Like Mo Spates is going to be in town. I think David West is in town. It's going to be a reunion. And my guess is that's why. They're distracted from all these former faces coming back. I wouldn't surprise me if they're going out partying Saturday night and you got a hangover to deal with Sunday. They're human beings. Don't be surprised if you ever find out that your favorite professional athlete actually goes out and drinks every now and again. They do that. They're human again. With that said, my theory is that's why teams struggle for these retirement jersey nights. Now, with that said, make no mistake about the Warriors being very self-aware of the situation at hand. And the fact that the Mavericks are a team, like the Warriors were so pissed about that loss to Dallas a couple weeks ago that they were livid about that, man. Jimmy Butler was making public statements about it, and they made it a mission to play in that Houston game the very next night and win just to put that game in the rearview mirror. And they're aware of Dallas in the standings. They're aware of how important every one of these games are. There's only 26 games remaining in the regular season. So even though what you're saying does give me a little concern, I'm also confident that this Warriors team understands how big each of these moments are and that they're going to take care of business Sunday. I hope so, man.
I saw a note on the Warriors broadcast that it would be after the game. Usually all the retire jerseys are during halftime. That's where they get canned in the second half. So maybe that's a little different. But yeah, I mean,
good point.
I really think that the Warriors could get to 6, maybe even 5, man. Lakers would have to drop a little bit. The Lakers just lost to the Hornets the other night. The Lakers would have to drop. They're playing the Nuggets next. I don't know, man. I firmly do think that they would get to 5. But if they get to 6, if they were at 6 right now, they would play Denver. My only question about the Warriors this season is against Denver and Memphis. That's it. I know
Memphis,
okay.
I'm not even.
Memphis
doesn't scare me at all, man. But the Nuggets do. The Nuggets.
Memphis has the size, though, man.
But again, the Warriors already beat them. And the size that Memphis has, it's like you're talking about Zach Edey, right? A rookie who Draymond's already gotten inside his head. Jaren Jackson Jr., who's a beast, but Draymond has. And again, it sucks that Draymond's like the only answer, but they've already beaten them. I'm not overly concerned with Memphis. I just don't see the star power there on the Memphis side to outscore the Warriors in a 7-game series, man. I hear what you're saying, dude. I'm not pretending that it's going to be an easy sweep or anything like that. But Jokic is a whole different beast, man. Yeah. I got a lot of other people waiting. Sean, any final thoughts?
Yeah, let's just go Dubs, man. And it shouldn't be scared of really anyone else because we should really go clear the West, man.
Agreed.
You better get that Steve Kerr tattoo, man, and no more.
I know. I'm glad you brought that up. Friendly reminder for everyone: if the Warriors win the title this season, besides the fact that I'm never going to criticize Steve Kerr again, I will get a Steve Kerr tattoo. That is a true story, and yeah, so we'll see. I hope I get a tattoo, man, of Steve Kerr. I do. That's going to happen. Thank you, brother. Happy Friday night. Have a great weekend. Sean, you rule. What are you doing in the Dub C tonight, man? Are you going to Dave's? What are you doing? Are you partying? Are you staying at home?
Wait, Dave's Hot Chicken? You mean? What do you mean?
Is there some bar in downtown Walnut Creek called Dave's? At least there was when I was younger. I don't know if that still exists.
I don't really go to downtown that often.
All good.
There's a Dave's Hot Chicken nearby here. I thought that's what you were talking about.
Well, that sounds good too. Sign me up for some Dave's Hot Chicken. Sean, have a great night, brother. It's always a pleasure, man. Let's go to Manny. OMG. It's Manny more specifically. How are you doing tonight?
Good, brother. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Well, especially after a night like this, man, I can't complain. What's on your mind, dude?
Man, it's like they started the playoffs from now. The Warriors started the playoffs intensity from now. Honestly, it's an energy that I think that because they're having the whole entire team involved, that they can maintain, can go on a good run now to finish off to, continue climbing. As you were talking with the previous guest about the matchups, I think that's the most important thing that we got to look at, because let's say we go in and we match up with OKC. I mean, we have so far, I know the playoffs is different than during the season, but I mean we're 2-1, and the one that we lost lost without Steph. So I think we match up really well. And now that everybody is more energized with Jimmy Butler in and everything, I think that's a really good matchup for us. And I think that's where the playoffs is going to go. The playoffs is going to go depending on what matchups we honestly end up with. But great energy from everybody today. There is one award that I want to give out today, and it's a bum of the game, and I'm gonna give that to Kevon Looney tonight. I am so sorry. I love Looney, but man, he just did not look right in the court today. I was yelling at my TV, just put Trace Jackson Davis in there. I know you're bringing him in for physicality compared to Quinton Post. But man, just bring Trace back, because Looney was just, he just looked out of it.
I saw a few people on social media complaining about Looney's minutes as well. Kevon played 14 minutes, 18 seconds tonight. I mean, I guess what stuck out to me is that Looney just was not contributing statistically, whereas pretty much every one of his teammates were putting up points and buckets, and then Looney's out there, and Domantas Sabonis is scoring over him. Valanciunas is scoring over him. It wasn't the greatest of nights, but 2 points. Did grab 5 boards, so at least he contributed in some regards. But he also got 2 turnovers. It was just a meh night for Kevon Looney. I hear you, man.
Yeah. No, and the energy was so good. I mean, I watched a couple of Kings games, and they like playing Sabonis with Valanciunas, and I was curious to see if I was going to see that tonight. But with the pace that we started and we continued the whole entire game, there was no way they were going to keep up with us, bringing both of those bigs on the court at the same time. I think the
Agreed.
Warriors controlled
Agreed.
the Warriors controlled the pace the whole game. I would say maybe at the end of I think it was at the end of the second, beginning of the third, it got a little bit out of whack a little bit. They rushed us a little bit, but Jimmy Butler got the ball in the paint, started, hey, let's just control it. I think that's when they had the 3-second defensive call. And then I think it was Buddy that got the free throw. And I think that's when we just regained the pace. We just, gathered ourselves and just continue pushing. And I'm so glad that I did not see crunch time minutes for the Warriors. I think we're leading. We're leading the NBA in crunch time minutes. What is it?
Clutch.
Clutch time minutes. 5 points last couple of minutes, and I'm glad that the main players got some rest at the end of the game. Everyone looked good. There was not really much rust after the All-Star game, even after everything that went down. So it looks really, really good, man. The product that they put out today looks really, really good.
Agreed. Manny, where are you tonight?
I'm at home, man. It's about 1:00 in the morning. I'm about to just crash, brother. I had a long day at work and all that.
Well, happy Friday, and I feel like when the Warriors pull a win like this on a Friday, isn't it just there's just an extra sweetness added to the game? So I imagine you're going to sleep a little better tonight. I could be mistaken.
Definitely am. Hey,
Good.
Sai,
Man,
one question. One question. That shirt or sweatshirt you got, is that your dog surfing? Is that like your own personal logo?
This was my personal logo. This was my last dog. He was a half English bulldog, half boxer. He was awesome. He was my surf shop dog as well. So like every time people would come into the surf shop, he'd greet them. And so I had an artist design this, and I have someone working on like a shop for this program where we're gonna maybe sell stuff. And if we do that, I'll add this logo for one of the items. But yeah, this is my old dog, man. R.I.P. Do you have any pups yourself? Are you a dog owner?
I do. I have a service animal. She's a pointer mixed with a pit bull.
Bravo, man. Are you snuggling
tonight? No. She's already knocked out. She's already knocked out, man. I don't want to wake her up. But yeah, no, I'm excited whenever you bring out any type of merch. Post it up.
For sure, Manny. And I'll definitely announce that when it happens. But how are you feeling? Before I let you go, man, Sunday's a big one. It's Warriors Mavericks. It's a very early game. They're going to be retiring Andre Iguodala's jersey number after the game, as Ishan brought up. And we'll talk about that in a little bit because I'm going to be there as well for Sunday. We'll talk about that in a moment. But how are you feeling about that? It's a big game. They're all big, but this one's particularly as important because the Mavericks are right above the Warriors in the standings, and the Warriors want revenge for that brutal game a couple weeks ago.
It is a big game, but I mean, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would bet on the Warriors winning, number one, because they gotta take it out on what happened last game. And I think that this time they're gonna, especially with the chemistry now, more practice with Jimmy Butler in there, and the rest of the players. The rotations looked a lot better today. I got to give that to Steve Kerr.
Agreed.
So with all of these positive changes that I have been noticing, I think, and with the product that they put out today, I think that if they continue to just build on that, and just take the refs' decision out of the game, just stop worrying about the refs, just take over the game, control the pace, don't let the refs have the control of it. I am pretty optimistic on the outcome this Sunday. I'm gonna be glued to the TV.
I love the optimism, and I'm sure we'll see you again soon, man. You have a great rest of the night, and
you too, buddy, man.
Weekend, and go Dubs, dude. This one felt good.
Yes, sir. All right, brother. God bless, man.
You too. Thanks, Manny, who recently became a Golden Dazer as well. Adrian Gutierrez in the chat saying Jimmy Butler is a smart basketball player. Agreed. When it comes to basketball IQ, man, the man is astute. Let's hear from head coach Steve Kerr. These sound bites, there was a huge chunk of this season where every time I went to the Steve Kerr presser and we were going to play specific attribution, it was cringe. There was a bit of cringe that came along with each of these sound bites. That cringe is gone, man. I'm actually curious to hear what Steve Kerr has to say about the Golden State Warriors after their 132-106 win tonight over the Sacramento Kings, which allowed the Warriors to leapfrog the Kings in the standings. Both teams entered this game with equal records. The Warriors now have a one-game lead over Sacramento. We'll talk about the standings in a little bit, but here is the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr, immediately following tonight's win in Sacramento. Shut down the beam, mofo.
This is your third game where you've scored 125 or more points with Jimmy in the lineup. What are you seeing with your offense, especially when they double Steph, how open guys are compared to before?
He passes. He creates shots with his passing, with his penetration, with his brilliant footwork, fundamental play. You know, we always talk about playing off 2 feet. Jimmy plays off 2 feet. Jump stop, pivot, never turns it over. He's got claws for hands, and then he gets the ball out of traffic, and we end up with wide open looks. And he just connects the game for the rest of the guys, and we're getting much better looks because of Jimmy's presence.
That was courtesy of KNBR. Thank you to my former employer of 10 years for providing some decent audio to go along with that attribution. And Steve Kerr bringing up a very interesting stat, which I did not know until just there, that Jimmy Butler has now played 5 games as a member of the Golden State Warriors. And 3 of those 5 games, the team has scored 125 or more points. And I love the description there from Kerr talking about Jimmy Butler's claws for hands. Steve Kerr also, when the trade first happened, this was like about a day or two after Jimmy Butler had come to the Warriors, Kerr described Jimmy Butler as being a lion. And there was something about that which just, it was poetic. It had it just rang the right tune. It's a great description of Jimmy. He does have the heart of a lion out there. I think that's how it was described more specifically. It was that he had the heart of a lion. Man, Jimmy Butler is a beast out there, and super stoked to have him on this Warriors team, man. That trade was phenomenal. Caleb, I'm going to get to you in 1 second because I also want to bring up this interesting attribution, which was provided to Ron Kroichek of the San Francisco Chronicle. And this is a story that came out, I think, yesterday. And the attribution was from Jerry Stackhouse, Warriors assistant. He's their quote unquote defensive coordinator on the team. And I want to read what he wrote, these 3 passages more specifically, because Stackhouse talked about Andrew Wiggins and the difference between Wiggins and Jimmy Butler. And I'll share my screen as well because I posted these screen captures on social media. These were like the best parts of the story. Quote, Jimmy Butler essentially replaced Andrew Wiggins in the starting lineup. That changes the composition of Golden State's defense. Butler packs 230 pounds onto his sturdy 6'7" frame, making him more than 30 pounds heavier than Andrew Wiggins. Butler also is decidedly more vocal. Jerry Stackhouse acknowledged that Jimmy Butler switches more effectively onto bigger players than smaller, quicker guards. That gives the Warriors 2 shrewd, elite front court defenders in Draymond Green and Butler, but it also raises familiar questions about their perimeter defense. Andrew Wiggins often defended the opponent's top outside threat. Stackhouse, who joined the Warriors last summer, wondered if Andrew Wiggins was especially effective in that role this year. Quote, I personally didn't think he was great against the other team's best player, Stackhouse said. He was better against those next guys. We throw him on those top players sometimes because of the reputation of what he did in 22 and whatnot, but I saw separation. if you really want to be a good defender, you have to close that distance a little, unquote. I loved reading that because Jerry Stackhouse confirmed what I've been saying for a damn long time. And he also revealed the deficiency defensively that this team had before adding Jimmy Butler. They went from having a player in Andrew Wiggins who, as Jerry Stackhouse just said right there, could not defend the other team's best players. They were relying on the 2022 accomplishment. That was 2.5 years ago. We're creeping on 3 years on that. And this is what the Warriors were hanging on to. This is why Steve Kerr, as a personnel guy, sucks. And for the folks in the chat who are giving love to Mike Dunleavy Jr., bravo. He should be considered for Executive of the Year. I am loving the moves that he has made so far. The 2 second-round picks, Trace Jackson-Davis and Quentin Post. Brandin Podziemski, who can be polarizing at times, but he's playing some damn good basketball right now, and the potential is certainly there. And then this recent Jimmy Butler trade. Bravo. I'm happy, man. I'm happy. And I'm glad that Jerry Stackhouse was forthright in telling the public what he felt about how the team was with Wiggins and how they are now with Jimmy Butler. It's a whole different look, a whole different team. And this Warriors dynasty is going strong. Caleb, welcome to the program. How are you doing tonight? What are your thoughts?
Hey. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Before I go to the game, I wanted to talk about Jerry Stackhouse's comments and stuff. And I was really surprised by his honesty, because I don't really expect coaches to be just outright honest about how their players be doing and stuff. So I really like that. But I do agree that Andrew Wiggins has fallen off on his on-ball defense. But we have to be honest with Jimmy Butler too. I don't really see him as one of the great on-ball defenders. I actually see him a little subpar, honestly, because we saw Kyrie, and I won't blame it completely on him, but when we see the game, he was cooking them a little, and he did drop 42. Dame dropped 38. So on the smaller on-ball people, he can't really guard them, but he's still good at the passing lanes and stuff. But yeah.
But real quick, was Kyrie or Dame, was that Jimmy Butler's primary defensive assignment?
No. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to completely blame it on him.
Yeah.
But when they switched and stuff, they were just too fast for him and stuff. So he's
and then let me follow up real fast, Caleb. Let me ask you this as well: is there any player that Kyrie Irving in the NBA has not eviscerated?
No, that's true.
Have you ever seen a player actually shut Kyrie Irving down?
I mean,
it's not easy. What I'm trying to say here is,
you're right.
Don't use that as your case study for Jimmy Butler's defense. That's all I'm trying to say here. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, I'm gonna have to see more gameplay to honestly give an actual honest review. But yeah, but his passing, his defense and the passing lanes are amazing. And he had an all right game, 17 points today. But I was really surprised by Moody, Pods, and Buddy Hield. I don't know about Buddy Hield. I don't know if that's going to be consistent or not. But the Pods and Moody, I'm liking what I'm seeing. They've been doing really good these past games. Pods, I don't know about – he hasn't been making his threes like that. But Moody, oh my, it's been amazing with him. He's been making his threes, I ain't going to lie. So it's really good. And they just need to keep this up. And I heard what you're saying about Kuminga and stuff. And the three-man lineup with Draymond, Jimmy, Kuminga. And I would love to see it. I want to see how it works. Is he playing on Sunday?
Kuminga?
Yeah.
No. Steve Kerr said that he's not going to be available Sunday, and that, again, my guess is it's going to be Tuesday. That will be Kuminga's debut after missing approximately 6 weeks with the high ankle sprain. So hopefully Tuesday at home against the Hornets is when we should expect him.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would love to see that lineup go with Kuminga, Draymond, and Jimmy Butler. But I don't want to fix something. I don't want to change something that's not broken with this lineup. And Pods, Moody, Curry, Butler, and Draymond has been doing really good. So we'll see what Kerr does. And look, lately he's been doing good with these rotations, so I trust him. And right now I'm checking the standings, and we're on the loss column. We're 1 game behind the 7 and 8 seed. So I expect in these 2 weeks we have a good schedule, easy schedule, so we could get up to the 7 seed. And then we got time. We got 26 games left. We could go 6-5. Lakers, they lost the Hornets too. They haven't been doing good. So, I expect a good performance from our Warriors. And Draymond, he guaranteed us the championship. So get ready for that tattoo.
And I heard today, because Draymond doesn't just say that. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He contrary to what you may or may not believe about Draymond, he actually is careful about the words he chooses for the most part. Maybe in-game action excluded from that, but like he has not made a prediction like this since 2022, and when he did it, then they won the championship. So when Draymond's making these bold predictions, you should have some excitement following that because he doesn't just spit takes. Like he doesn't just he doesn't talk out of his ass, man. He is actually pretty careful about what he says. So
and the West, I mean, the media has been saying this West is really like difficult and stuff, but to me this West looks open, to be honest.
Completely, dude. That's been my argument the whole year, man, for why I think the Warriors have a shot. Some years, man, it's borderline impossible. There are years like the Nuggets 2 years ago. Forget it, man. Like no one was going to beat the team. But
and people been saying this Nuggets team's been doing good, but like these last 8 games, they've been on a winning streak and stuff, but they've been playing some horrible teams, and their bench isn't the same from that championship team. And I don't really expect Murray to be consistent. I've been seeing him hoop and stuff, but I don't know. So these teams, they have question marks. Houston, I want to see them in the playoffs. They're a good matchup for us. Memphis, I don't know. That one game they beat our asses, so I don't know.
Oh, LA, by 51. Yeah.
Yeah, that left trauma. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of scared of them, but we gotta see. But it's looking good. I'm excited.
So the Warriors played the Grizzlies on November 15th and beat them 123-118. They played Memphis again on December 19th, and that's the game you're talking about where they lost 144-93, losing by 51. They played again on January 4th and beat them 121-113. So they played each other 3 times this season, and the Warriors currently lead the season series 2-1. I hear what you're saying, man. Like I'm not pretending that Memphis is like some joke team that the Warriors are going to steamroll and stomp, but I don't look at them as this insane hurdle that the Warriors have to get lucky to overcome. But the Nuggets scare the shit out of me, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like St. Patrick's Day, Warriors Nuggets. I'm paying damn close attention to that game. How the Jimmy Butler Warriors can handle the Nuggets, but that's just me.
They just need to make Jokic score more because it's really proven when he assists on stuff, when he be making the dimes and stuff, the team be winning. But when Jokic is forced to score more, it's that's when he be losing. So we need to, I guess, defensively, we need to shut down the other options and just let Jokic score, to be honest. Just let Jokic go on a rampage, and we're going to win it.
I love it, man. Yeah. Caleb, what are you up to tonight, man? What's your Friday night or weekend plans?
It's been my birthday today, so we just got to win, so it's nice for that. You know, nice birthday gift and stuff, and about to go out and stuff.
Caleb, today's your birthday?
Yeah, today's my birthday, and we got to win. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
Happy birthday, dude. Do you mind sharing how old you are now?
Turned 18. We got legal.
Happy birthday, Caleb. Wow. So you're officially an adult, but you're still a teenager. You can buy cigarettes. You can buy porn. You can serve in the military, but you can't buy alcohol or weed, which doesn't make any difference. But regardless, what are you doing for your birthday, man? Happy birthday, dude.
Yeah, I mean, today just, we're friends a little bit, but tomorrow's going to be the big day, getting lit and stuff. But yeah, just excited. But honestly, just excited for that Sunday game. We got to get revenge on the Mavs, bro. We got to show Clay what's up, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, brother. Caleb, happy birthday, dude. That's awesome, man. Just be safe, whatever you do, but obviously have the time of your life. Have fun, dude, brother. That's good stuff, man. You know what's weird is back when, at least when I turned 18, like again, the milestones were like you could buy cigarettes, and I don't know if anyone's smoking anymore these days, but back then we were. You could buy porn, but I mean everything's online now, so I don't know if that matters. So what is the perk of turning 18 for you?
I mean, have you heard about that medic card? So you could when you turn 18, you could get like a medical card and stuff, and you could just buy weed, and they let you and stuff. So that's really the perk. I'm trying to get that, and I could just buy flour and stuff. That would be cool. So yeah, that's the perk for me, to be honest.
I love it, man. Happy birthday, Caleb. I'm really stoked for you. And I'm glad the Warriors won on your birthday, man, because that would have sucked. If it was the other way.
Yeah. That'd been horrible.
Oh, that would be, dude. Good thing that did not happen, bro. Happy birthday, Caleb, and I'm sure we'll see you again soon, brother. I'm
Yep.
I'm stoked for you. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. I love the show. And have a good time, guys.
Thank you. You too, Caleb. Happy birthday. That is awesome, dude. Happy 18th birthday, man. And he carries himself maturely. I would have guessed a little bit older than 18. I want to go back to the soundboard because Buddy Hield, who had an interesting new hairdo. I don't know if it was a new hairdo, but it looks longer and it's definitely flowing more than it has been. He had a great game tonight. Buddy Hield was tied for the team lead with Moses Moody tonight, scoring 22 points. For the Golden State Warriors, shooting 5 of 8 from deep, and his buckets were huge. They were timely. They kept stemming runs by the Sacramento Kings. They were backbreakers. And when Buddy's shooting like this, you roll with it. You love it. He was also a +8 in net rating. Draymond Green, not surprisingly, led the Warriors tonight in net rating with a +23 in 28 minutes, 27 seconds of play. Buddy Hield played 25 minutes, 45 seconds. And again, his shooting number is almost identical to Moses Moody. Both players 8 of 11 from the field. Both players 5 of 8 from 3. Both players had 1 free throw attempt. Moses Moody, his came on a 4-point play. Side note, Moses Moody has gone to the Stephen Curry school of ghost riding the 3-point whip. What I mean by that is Moses Moody is dropping threes and turning his head before the ball goes in. It's awesome. He did it again tonight for a 4-point play. If you don't understand the Ghost Ride the Whip reference, it's an awesome E40 song from, I think, like the early 2000s. Anyway, so Moses Moody, bravo to you for mastering that ridiculous skill that only Stephen Curry was able to do until now Moses Moody is emulating him. But Buddy Hield also had a great game. And with 1 free throw attempt as well, made it just like Moses Moody. So those two players weirdly had nearly identical shooting numbers and scoring outputs, both players finishing with 22 points. Here is Buddy Hield talking about winning in his former home of Sacramento. Buddy played there for a long time, and let's hear from Buddy. Side note, this attribution comes courtesy of 95.7 The Game. They do not have great sound levels, so turn up the volume on your device so you can listen to Buddy Hield.
Career, come back and have this type of performance and see your team do well in the process.
I mean, it's basketball, just regular, yeah, I was out here, but there's no hard feeling to watch Sacramento. This is the business of basketball, and I'm happy where I'm at. I went to Indiana and Philly, and Golden State. I'm just happy to have a job in this league. So it doesn't faze me to come back to Sacramento, but it's always good to get a win here. And it's always good not to see that beam in the sky tonight.
Hell yeah, man. That's what we were saying here as well. F the beam. Take that beam and shove it up your ass. Screw your beam. It's terrific marketing campaign by the Kings, but as of right now, I think that's the only thing the Sacramento Kings organization has going for them is that stupid ass beam, which is not being lit tonight. And someone whose beam is shining is Mr. Chardal. How is your beam? How is your beam shining, Chardal? Great to see you.
I'm happy that they didn't light the beam tonight.
Yes, me too.
I'm so happy because I hate the Kings and I'm happy they lost because I don't
me
like
too.
them.
How are you doing, Chardal?
Give
us a recap.
This was an impressive win for the Warriors, 132 to 108 over Sacramento at the Golden One Center. I've never been to the Golden One Center in my life, so I really want to go there. It's a beautiful arena. I looked inside the arena. It's one of the state of the art arenas out there in Sacramento. I want to go there, watch a game over there. I want to.
You've never seen a game at Golden One?
No, I've heard about my people talking about it, but I've never actually been inside the building.
Your people. You're funny, dude. Continue on.
Moses Moody and Buddy Hield combined for 44 points. They were phenomenal. I feel bad it wasn't Steph Curry's night. He didn't have like an impressive shooting performance like Moses Moody and Buddy Hield. But he still did really well tonight.
Good news though, Chardal, he doesn't care. All Stephen Curry cares about is winning, so he's fine.
So what were your thoughts on the win?
I loved it. Again, it's Sacramento for whatever reason gives the Warriors problems. Malik Monk normally eats the Warriors up alive, and they contained him, man. Jimmy Butler is a borderline perfect fit on this team. Offensively, he's a connector among many things. Dude, I'm giddy. I don't know what else to say, man. I'm ecstatic. I'm elated. This Warriors team gives me hope. How about you?
This team gives me a lot of hope. This team, I'm very hopeful about this team. I'm hopeful this team can go really, really far in the season. We have 26 games left in the season right now, so I think this team will make some big moves. I think they'll win more games.
You know, there is one thing that's really concerning me, Shardal, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this. Besides the fact that Anthony Murkovich writes, Shardal's got hose. I don't think we can disagree with that, man. You can't hate the game. Shardal, Draymond Green's three-point shooting has not been great lately. He was 0 of 2 from beyond the arc tonight. I'm worried, man. I mean, the entire season might derail if Draymond doesn't get that three-point shot down. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think Draymond Green, his three-point shooting is good, but he's not like Stephen Curry. So don't compare Draymond Green to Stephen Curry, because that would be such a bad comparison if you compared him to the greatest shooter.
Shardal, I'm going to be at the game Sunday. Are you going to be there as well?
I'm not going to be in the building, but I'm going to be watching the game at home, and I'll definitely join you here for the post game.
Okay, that's cool.
Can I be your co-host for the game against Dallas?
Well, this is where I hate to break it to you, man, but we will not have a post-game show Sunday, at least not right after the game. The original plan was I was going to bring all my equipment to Chase Center, and then Rick Barry's going to be there as well because his jersey's hanging up in the rafters, and Andre Iguodala is going to join him, and he's going to be part of the festivities. So my original plan was post-game show. We start about 20, 30 minutes after the game. Rick Barry joins me. Anyone else there joins me. And then I found out that Andre Iguodala's retirement ceremony is going to happen. His jersey retirement ceremony is going to happen after the game. And that could go on for like hours. So my plan got derailed. And so what's going to happen is I might do like an Instagram live type thing where I just get on my phone for a little bit, and Rick's still going to be there, but I'm going to record a segment with Rick, and then we're going to go live later that night when I come back home. And then you could join me then if you want, man. Sure.
So when I came on the post-game show that other day, I made a typo. I said something incorrectly on the when I came on the post-game when we were co-hosting. I said a typo, and I think you might have not recognized it.
No, you emailed me twice about it. I saw the email, and I told you it's not a big deal. You're fine. What did you say again? That the Warriors?
I said that they lost. I meant to say that they I said the Warriors lost against Houston. I meant to say they won.
Yeah, sure at all. That was such a big mistake. I don't know if I could bring you on anymore after that.
That happens all.
Sure at all. Come on, I'm joking.
That happens all the time. Okay, you're not gonna just
you're fine.
not bring me on the
Sure
show after I make that mistake.
Sure at all, you're fine. You're good. I promise you're good. Okay.
You even said when you were coming on the show, you even said 132 to 106 Kings. You said you even made it. So we both made a typo. So I don't feel bad right now.
Good. You shouldn't feel bad. Period.
I don't feel bad because I don't feel bad because you made a typo on the show. You're a professional host.
I know I messed up. It's a live broadcast. I'm a human being. What can I say? What are your thoughts on Jonathan Kuminga coming back, man? Are you excited about that? Is there some trepidation in terms of him fitting in with this team that's rolling? What are your thoughts on Kuminga coming back?
I'm excited. I mean, as a Warriors fan, it's heartbreaking that Kuminga is still out from the Warriors. You know, I think he's the glue. He's the glue to this team, right? He's the glue to the franchise. Everybody loves him. So Kuminga's gonna become like Curry. Like Curry is the backbone of the Warriors franchise. Kuminga can be as popular as Curry to be the backbone of this franchise. Like if you look at Steph Curry and Jonathan Kuminga, who do you think is going to be who do you think is the biggest backbone of the Warriors, Kuminga or Steph Curry?
Well, Steph, obviously, but maybe 10 years from now it'll be Kuminga. By the way, Shardal, Bryant Baldorado is in the chat, and I'm guessing. Look, we're going to get new audience members all the time, And I'm guessing Bryant is new, and he's asking, who is this dude? Shardal, can you explain to Bryant and anyone else who's a new audience member of this program, who are you, Shardal?
Hi, Bryant. This is SGA. I always call into size shows on Golden Days. I'm a big fan of his channel. And if you want to come in and if you want to call in, he puts a link out there for anybody to come and call into the show. You just have to click on that link and join the show. He puts a link out there right after he gives this spiel. Then he puts a link out there and you can join the show.
And would you agree with BC, who writes that you are the ultimate San Fran super fan?
I agree with that. I
Okay.
agree that with BC.
All right, there you go. And look at Yadamin showing you love, Shardal, saying that you are the GOAT, that you are a fan favorite of this stream. You are, man. You
I am the
we gotta
GOAT,
love you.
and thanks for people giving me so much love. So much love. I really appreciate all of my viewers giving me so much love. I really appreciate all the content that I make.
Agreed.
I
Wholeheartedly
really
agree.
appreciate that.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Who would not want to give love to this man?
Wholeheartedly agree. So Shardal, I'm going to see you Sunday. Any final thoughts on tonight's win, and what are your plans for
I'll
this
see you
weekend?
Sunday. I'm going to give you my score prediction for the Warriors and Mavericks game. I'm going Golden State Warriors winning 145 to 115. I got them winning by 30.
Woo!
I got Moses Moody, and I got Moses Moody and Buddy Hield combining for 50 points.
How was your birthday, by the way? You turned 28 last week, right?
No, that was already last week. But
I know. What did you do for your birthday last week?
I went out to a restaurant.
Which restaurant? Can you share that, or is that
Santana Row?
okay? All right. What kind of food?
It was like a Asian fusion type of restaurant.
Ooh, sounds good, brother.
Yeah. So I'll see you on Sunday. I'm planning to do a post game. I won't be able to join you on the February 25th game against the Charlotte Hornets. Because me and Baller have already planned to do a post game show together. We've already
Good.
coordinated everything together. We've already
Good.
talked everything through X
Good.
and everything. So we're gonna be doing that. So if you don't see me there, then I'll be doing a post game show with Baller. If you don't see me in the show, I'll be somewhere else.
Sounds good. And Shardal, have a great weekend. I love your prediction. 145-115. The Warriors are going to beat the Mavericks by 30 points. Well, 145 is a big score, Shardal. So are you anticipating like Steph dropping 45? Is Jimmy Butler going to drop like 40 plus? Like where's the scoring going to come from to accumulate 145 points?
Steph Curry's gonna drop 30. Jimmy Butler's gonna drop 45. Buddy Hield might drop like maybe 20.
Does it worry you, Shardal, that Stephen Curry this season has not had a 40-point game?
It alarms me that Steph Curry hasn't had a 40-point game this season because he should. And when I'm looking at all of his games that he's played, they have been under 40.
Correct. Yeah, he hasn't.
And
he
that
hasn't hit
alarms
40
me because Steph Curry is one of the greatest shooters in the NBA right now, and he should have more than 40 points every single game he plays.
And the good news is Jimmy Butler's only played 5 games for the Warriors, and we've noticed a drastic change in the offense, in the workload, and the defensive attention that Stephen Curry faces. So I think he's going to hit that 40 mark soon. Would you agree or no?
I think he has a chance of hitting that 40 mark. I recently attended NBA Crossover, which was the NBA fan experience event in Moscone, and Draymond Green was there for an hour from 12 to 1.
Oh,
and
good.
we had this full line of people who were trying to get us to meet Draymond Green.
Good.
And I stood in line, and he left before the people got there. He left. Draymond Green left.
Wow. Shardal, what are your thoughts on the fact that the Golden State Warriors tonight scored 38 points off turnovers, while Sacramento scored just 6 points off turnovers?
I mean, that's, to me as a Warriors fan, that kind of doesn't make any sense because I can't believe that the Kings committed way more turnovers and we committed less turnovers, which doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, the Kings should be making more turnovers, right? They're like the worst. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Kings, so they should have made way more turnovers. But I'm not sure why we committed less turnovers. It just doesn't make.
They played better. They played better basketball.
That
The
just
Sacramento
doesn't-
Kings tonight turned the ball over 21 times individually. They had 24 turnovers total and that resulted in 38 points for the Golden
So
State
what?
Warriors.
So
Yeah.
what were your thoughts on Zach LaVine, the newest member of the Sacramento Kings in a Kings uniform? How do you look in a Kings? How do you think he looked in a Kings uniform?
I think the Sacramento Kings are right back where they were in the pre-Mike Brown years, man. It's just I don't know who in their right mind thinks migrating the Chicago Bulls over to your basketball team. And what I mean by that is they basically just took what the Bulls had with DeRozan and LaVine
For
and
me,
thought, let's just do that here. I dude,
for me, I think
that-
I think for the Kings, I think when you look at De'Aaron Fox, I think he should have stayed on the Kings because now Steph Curry is gonna be a little bit upset because Steph Curry and De'Aaron Fox had the Under Armour deal, like the Under Armour shoe deal. He
Correct.
partnered with Steph Curry on Under Armour.
correct.
So I'm gonna miss that bond with Fox and Curry to partner on the same shoe brand with the Under Armour.
Yeah. Well, maybe the Warriors can get Scoot Henderson, and then they can get the Under Armour thing going again.
And another thing at the NBA crossover, I watched the G League Up Next game, which is basically like an all-star game, which all the G League players who were there. Lester Quinones was on the court, Santa Cruz Warriors, and I
He's
couldn't
a-
get his autograph in a photo from him. That'd be pretty dope to get a Quinones, who plays on the Santa Cruz Warriors.
did,
I
yeah.
wish I would get his autograph in a photo because that would
He
be
did.
pretty sick.
He did. All right. We're gonna move on.
So I
Charlotte.
have before I leave before I get off the stream, I'm gonna say make sure to click that like button, smash that subscribe button, ring that notification bell for Sai, so
Thank
you
you.
know next time he goes live on his channel and reference the Golden Days, the Matthew McConaughey movie, and I'll see you on Sunday. Hopefully we can take care of the Mavericks because they beat us the last time we played them, and I cannot think of that game. Like that just haunts me right now. So we need to come in and take care of Dallas. We need,
Agreed.
and I agree with the last caller. He said we have to beat Dallas. So I agree with the previous caller who called in before I called in. He said that the Warriors have to take care of Dallas. But I think this was a good win for the Warriors. Took down the Kings 132-108 at the Golden One Center. I think it was a great win, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Sunday after the Warriors and Dallas game.
Sounds good, Chardall. Thank you as always. You rule. Have a good show Tuesday with Baller, by the way, as well.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know how it went.
Sounds good. Have a good night, Chardall.
Okay, see you, Sai. I'll see you on Sunday.
Thank you. And that is the great Chardall joining us, the ultimate super fan here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Chardall, don't email me later on. It's telling me that you got the score wrong. It was 132-106. It's not a big deal. You're okay. Aim assist. I believe you're going to be our last audience member of the night. Joining the program. Happy Friday. How you doing, man?
Yo, what up,
Aim,
bro?
are you still with us? Yeah, there we go. How you doing?
Man, that was a long one, but I'm doing good. I'm doing good, bro.
Good. What's on your mind, man? Floor is yours.
I like the win today. I'm not gonna lie. My player of the game is Pods because, bro, the way he was guarding DeMar DeRozan had me very surprised. Like he was actually containing him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So that was actually pretty impressive. Yeah, that was impressive. That was impressive.
But Podziemski had a couple plays tonight. There was like one. He was double teamed. There was one possession. I think this was in the third quarter where, and I don't know if you remember this or not. He was double teamed. He was trapped in the corner, and the shot clock's winding down. And he just said, "F it, I'm going to take this shot myself." It was like a really difficult fadeaway that hit nothing but net, dude. And that was a clutch shot that the Warriors had not pulled away yet. So that bucket was huge. There was also like a three-pointer he made. I don't know if you remember that. And it was a deep three in the second quarter another one where the shot clock was winding down. They needed that bucket. He was clutch tonight, dude. And that's not even including the defense you're talking about, where in addition to DeMar DeRozan, being effective, slowing him down, he also was effective with Malik Monk. Dude, Podziemski's been playing some great ball lately, dude. And look, when Kuminga's back, one of the beauties with Steve Kerr in terms of the options he has is you have your four, right? Your four best players, it's almost objective, where it's Steph, Draymond, Kuminga, Jimmy Butler. Like, you're going to ride or die with those four players. With the fifth, it could be Brandin Podziemski. It could be Moses Moody. I mean, there could be nights where Quentin Post, you might need some size, but he can also space the floor. Dude, you have some options on this team, man. And Brandin Podziemski's playing great ball. I'm sorry to talk over you, dude. I just wanted to add that stuff. Go ahead.
Oh no, you said a lot, but Buddy Hield actually played some decent ball. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that was a foul on DeMar DeRozan. I think DeMar just flopped right there. I think that was BS right there. At the end of the second quarter, but Buddy Hield did pretty good today overall.
I think he played great today, dude. Yeah, I mean, look, the Warriors won this game by 26. It's either a close game or a loss. If Moody's not putting up 22, Buddy Hield scoring 22, Brandin Podziemski scoring 21. I did not have it in my cards, Aim, that 3 Warriors players were dropping 20 or more points, and the names of those players were Moody, Podziemski, and Buddy. Was not counting on that. It was awesome.
I think that's mainly because of how the Kings were guarding Curry. They thought that this was the team with Andrew Wiggins where you could just double Curry and then like nobody else was going to step up. So they definitely stepped up, and the Kings defense definitely hurt their chances because they thought they could just double Steph the whole game and they wouldn't have to pay for it. So yeah, everybody else stepped up, and that's the good part about it.
Absolutely. Someone, I forgot their name, but earlier in the show, someone brought up that the Warriors had 40 assists tonight, which is a big number. I mean, there are nights where we've seen the Warriors hit 50 assists, which is absurd, but 40 is a very healthy number. And I don't know if you noticed this, but there were a lot of possessions tonight. And I think this was indicative of where the Kings are as a team defensively, where all the Warriors had to do was make one extra pass. And the Kings, either because they were double teaming or because they just were not prepared, those extra passes, and whether or not that pass went to Draymond inside, whether that pass went to Jimmy, whoever was rolling to the basket was wide open time and time and time again. I don't know if you noticed that as well, but the ball movement was fantastic, and the Kings defense is very sad. I don't know if the Warriors were exposing them. I don't know if that's just the Kings defense in general, but the Warriors were getting a lot of easy buckets just from making one extra pass repeatedly. Did you notice that as well?
Oh no, the Kings are horrible right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like, until Zach LaVine adjusts to their system, they're terrible. They're terrible.
They are, man.
But how do you feel about the Suns?
Hey, before you go, what do you think about Jimmy Butler? What are your thoughts on him?
Oh, Jimmy, yeah, he's great. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I'm gonna say this. Before he got traded, I said him and Wiggins was identical. Like, they were pretty much the same player. I was wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I was wrong, and I'll say that I was wrong. But he's a great player. He's way better than me.
Do you really? I don't know if you're aware of this. I respect the shit out of you for admitting that. For whatever reason, man, I don't remember this being a thing when I was younger, but for whatever reason, I feel like most people in this world just have a very hard time admitting that they're wrong. I don't know why we've come to a point in humanity and history and civilization where people just refuse, like they'd rather go down swinging than just say, I was wrong. I commend you for that, man. That's maturity. That it takes a bigger person to say that you're not perfect and that sometimes you think things that miss, and that's okay, man. You're a person. So I just want to give you props and give you a respect for that, because I don't think enough people admit that they're wrong in today's world, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. There was one play, and Adrian Gutierrez in the chat writes that it's the Jimmy Butler effect, which is opening up all these opportunities for other players. There was one play. I don't know if you noticed this as well, Aim, and this was with 2:10 remaining in the third quarter. Jimmy Butler attacked the paint, and he drew 3 defenders. 3. I don't think Stephen Curry was on the floor at this point. And he was so strong that none of those 3 defenders could actually stop him. And his strength forced all 3 of these players to stay with him. And then he found Kevon Looney for the easiest bucket imaginable, because by this point, Kevon Looney had just rolled to the basket, was wide open, and it was Kevon's only bucket of the entire game. But that play stuck out to me so much because of the gravity Jimmy Butler brings and the strength of his to be able to fend off 3 defenders swarming him. Didn't phase him one bit, man. I'm just so happy that Jimmy Butler's on this Warriors team, man. That's it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And one more thing, the Dre and Jimmy duo is very scary. Very, very, very scary. And I'll say this, I'm not gonna lie. With Jimmy and Dre on the court tonight, it was better than any time Curry was with either one of them. And I'm not disrespecting Curry, but when Jimmy and Dre was on the court, that was our best minutes of the night. That duo is really scary.
You're onto something, because Jimmy Butler himself, I don't know when this interview was, but I don't know if this was the right after the trade. I don't think it was. He recently said that he's developing instantaneous chemistry with Draymond Green. And what you said confirms that, right? Like, we're seeing it with our own eyes. Those two have something special. Jimmy Butler also said that the chemistry is not there yet. The key word being yet, with Stephen Curry. And he made that attribution after I think the first game that he played in a Warriors uniform, where he said that opposites attract, and him and Steph are just very different players, whereas Steph, dominates the outside. Jimmy likes the inside. And Jimmy Butler has admitted this himself, that the chemistry between him and Steph aren't there, which all that makes me think is, how scary is it going to be when those two figure it out? I mean, they're doing this right now while they have not figured each other out yet. I'm giddy about that, man. It's the potential is wild. And the fact that a 5th championship is very possible for this Warriors team, I'm stoked. I'm very stoked. Do you want to hear from Draymond Green, Aim, real fast?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This is Draymond Green, courtesy of KNBR, which makes me excited, because that means the sound is going to be good. And he talked about what you were talking about, Aim, which is the chemistry with Jimmy Butler, and maybe more importantly, the impact that Jimmy Butler has had on this team since he got here. 5 games in, the Warriors are 4-1 in the Jimmy Butler era. 3 of those 5 games, they've scored 125 or more points. Here is Draymond Green talking about Jimmy Butler and his impact on this team.
You've in your years, you guys have brought a lot of guys into the locker room, right? And some guys haven't been able to handle it. What makes Jimmy unique out of all of the personality types you've brought in?
I think with Jimmy has that presence to where you feel like you need to fit in around him. You don't have to make him fit in. And when a guy has that type of presence, this isn't a place where anyone tries to fight that. We don't try to fight that and like, no, you need to fit into this. Hell no. We will do exactly that. We will figure out how to fit in around you, because we're all confident and secure in ourselves and what we have and what we've built. And so it's never the need to enforce or try to force our way on someone. We're going to continue to be the way we are. You be the way you are. And we're going to figure out how to all make that work together. And I think that's been the secret to success here, is no one that's come here has had to be anyone other than who they are. And that's due to having a leader like Steph Curry. You have the face of a franchise like Steph Curry that is inviting as he is. Then everyone else has to fall in line. And when people come here, they feel comfortable with being themselves, because he's never going to try to have you be anything opposite. And he's never going to try to make you be him or anyone else. And I think when you have the honor of having the face of a franchise like that, it just makes it all the better for anyone who comes into it because it's nothing. It's not like something that you just need to fit into. That's never been a focus here.
It's really clear, like just the presence of a guy like that, how much it impacts. Is that something you realize when it's here? Like, hey, we needed that, or did you know before you needed that?
No, I knew before. We all knew before. That's why we was going after Jimmy. We got him. That's why you heard the stories about KD. That's just why you heard the stories about different guys. We have a good sense of what we need. You know, when you've done it 4 times, you know what it looks like, you know what it feels like. And I think we all sensed that we needed something like that. It wasn't just like, you make this small move. It's like, no, you need someone that's coming in and bringing life and fear into other teams. That's what Jimmy is.
That is music to my ears. Oh, Jimmy Butler experience, man. Aim, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Final thoughts. Let's just get the win in Dallas. That's all that matters. Because we got cheated last time, bro. I feel played. Let's get the win in Dallas, though.
And the game is actually here in San Francisco. But I hear what you're saying, man. Yeah, it's a big game. And we're going to look at the standings in just a moment to see what the implications are of that game. Aim assist. Thank you, brother. Thanks for coming on and joining us as always. Thank you for the support. What are your big plans tonight? Where are you, by the way? Are you in the Bay Area? Like, where are you joining us from?
Oh, I'm joining from California right now.
Oh, California. I've never heard of that place. Is it a state? I'm kidding, man. Dude, California is huge. Where in California are you?
Yo, I'm in San Francisco.
What part? What part of the city?
Honestly, I don't know. I just got here today. We just got our own rooms and stuff. I literally just got here.
So where are you visiting from, man? Like, did you move?
I'm visiting from Atlanta.
There we go. Okay, so what brings you to San Francisco, man? Is it just a vacation, or are you calling this place home now?
Just a vacation. I might go see the Warriors play, the Mavs or whatever.
If you want any pointers, and DM me, hit me up. I'll gladly be give you a few local spots if you need that information or want that information. Regardless, have fun. Thanks for joining us. What brings you to San Francisco? You just wanted to check the city out? Like, do you have family and friends here?
I wanted to see because they recently signed Yuri Collins, and that was actually like my brother's teammate. So like that's actually crazy. It's actually crazy.
Your brother's teammate. Okay, all right. So you've got a direct connection with the Warriors. Congratulations, man. Well, Aim, thank you for joining us tonight, brother. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Have fun in the city. And Yuri Collins, I haven't even bothered mentioning him yet. Yes, he got a 10-day contract with the Golden State Warriors. He's a 6-foot point guard. My guess is it was a gesture of appreciation for Yuri. I don't know if he is eligible for a 2-way deal. My guess is he's not. I could be mistaken on that. I have not done my research. But Yuri Collins got a 10-day contract. I would not expect him to be a big part of the Warriors. I think that was more just a thank you for what you're doing for us in Santa Cruz kind of gesture. Now, Kevin Knox, I got to talk about that before we wrap up the show because he got minutes tonight. And granted, it was in garbage time. But we got a glimpse of who he is and what he could be. He is more of a wing than he is a big. But the fact that he's a good 3-point shooter, as evident by hitting nearly 40% of his threes in Santa Cruz. He had 1 3-point attempt in tonight's game and made it. Kevin Knox had 5 points in this game based off of made 3 and another made bucket. Added a rebound in 2 minutes, 57 seconds of garbage time, which the 2:57 was also experienced by Trace Jackson Davis and also Pat Spencer at the end of this game. He looked good. Again, there's no chance in hell that I'm going to be judging a player based off garbage time minutes. But in that brief glimpse, so far, so good. I think that's all I can say about that. He looked really good. I want to give Guy Santos his flowers again, just because, again, the energy he brings is not something that this roster is full of. Like, they don't have a lot of larger energy guys. Like GP2 might be the closest thing to it, but GP2 is 6'2", and there is a clear difference between that and Guy Santos. So I love Gooey, and I love the contributions, and I want to give him his due because I thought he was awesome. Fozzie's dropping $1.99 because he wants to join the show real fast. Sure thing. Let me post the link in the chat, and then we'll do the scoreboard and the standings, and that'll be our Friday night episode. But Fozzie, yeah, dude, if you're gonna drop $1.99, you didn't have to do that, but thank you. You'll absolutely. I just posted the link if you want to jump on. But Kevin Knox, bravo, dude. So it was a very brief appearance, but I did notice, and I liked what I saw so far. Die Post saying that Guy Santos is not a good defender. I don't know. I'm not there yet. Now, Die Post, if you also feel that Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga are not good defenders, then I can kind of start to see the logic, because a lot of people feel that way, even though I wholeheartedly disagree. I don't have a strong opinion yet about Guy Santos's defense. I have seen moments, I've seen possessions where, yes, players have blown by him, but I've also seen possessions where he stayed in front of his assigned individual to defend. So I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion there. Fozzie, you're on the show. How are you doing?
Yeah, Cy, thanks for having me on, man. I'll keep it short.
You don't have to, but go ahead.
Look, the way this team is playing out and the way I'm looking at the schedule and the way that the rest of the Western Conference looks like, man, call me crazy, but I think a record like 20-6 or like 19-7 isn't too far off from us. Now,
agreed.
Look, I'll say that, and I'll let you react.
No. I look, I'm not calling you crazy. And we did a show, I can't remember if it was the last episode or the episode before that, where I think it was with Damon Bruce on Wednesday. We went through the March schedule. And granted, that doesn't take into account the rest of February. We got a few games here, but you look at March, where it's 14 games, and I think 12 of the 14 are against Eastern Conference opponents. Yeah. 2 of those games are against the Knicks, one at home, one at Madison Square Garden. But outside of that Knicks game, I think there's a game against the Nuggets, and there's 1 or 2 other games where there was a challenge posed. But if the Warriors play to their potential, they should clean house in March, man. Like they could easily go 12-2 in March. Like if the Warriors are as good as we think they are based off these 5 games with Jimmy, 10-4 would be like the low end of what they could do again in March. So if they go 10-4 in March, you're adding 6 games above 500 to their current record. They're right now, I believe, 2 games above 500. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, what you're saying, that they could go on a run and finish the season getting close to 50 wins. What do you think the final record is going to be for the Warriors?
Man, I don't even want to look that far ahead yet. But just in March, like what you were saying, look, we have the Mavs on Sunday, which is going to be a huge one because, Clay is back. He always wants to beat us. We get it, right? But also, it's Jimmy Butler's homecoming. He's going to want to do it big for the fans. So I'll just write that off as a win.
Holy shit. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, Fozzie, but you're right. I didn't even think of that until just now. Sunday's going to be Jimmy Butler's home debut.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, dude. All right. Exactly. I like that. Okay.
So he's going to want to come out and show up. Look, he had a solid 17 points tonight. And you know what? If he can get to 20 in the 23 range on Sunday, that's a win for me. And I think he's going to do that. But also, after that, we got the Hornets, Magic, Sixers, Hornets. To me, that's 5 wins in a row.
Should be, in theory,
look,
yeah.
I said I was going to keep it short. I could go on all night.
Go on, man. Look, this is one of the huge perks of me not being on the old show anymore. Where back then I had to keep it to 30 minutes. Dude, I can go as long as I want now, man. So go ahead.
Look, one other point I did want to make, too, is these young guys also with some of these weaker teams, we all know it's the NBA, but if these young guys get run and they do well, That's confidence up the roof, right? So look, Pods and Moody today, both over 20 points tonight.
Yep.
Like, you're just building something. It's like brick by brick, right? Strength in numbers, all of that kind of stuff that we're built on. And look, to me, those are just words. But to Pods and Moody, and you're looking at Steph Curry and Draymond Green, who both have 4 rings on the floor with you. I mean, I'm already feeling like if that was me, I could go for 50. I mean, I know that's not realistic, but you know, that's what these guys think like. So you put in you stack up these wins against these weaker teams. You know, we know it's the NBA, anything can happen. But the way that this team is built right now with Jimmy Butler, I feel like get the young guys going, bring in JK, boost everybody's confidence up. We get into the 6th seed. I think we can do it. And then give it to playoff Jimmy, playoff Steph. And you know what?
I'm with
We
you.
might make a
Ozzy,
run.
I'm with you. And again, we were talking a moment ago. Amos just brought up the chemistry between Jimmy and Draymond, and then we briefly touched on Jimmy and Stephen Curry and how that's still a developing chemistry. Bro, I cannot wait to see Jimmy and Kuminga. Something tells me those two are going to wreak havoc on the NBA.
If you,
And the
I
Warriors
don't
are
want to put on
doing
my
this now.
camera because I ain't got a haircut, but man, I am throwing my hands up right now because JK will bring a different dynamic, not only just to the defensive side, because we want him to lock down. And I feel like Jimmy Butler will get him into a space where, all right, I got Jimmy Butler with me. Let me lock down on defense. But not only that, just on the offensive side, imagine what that would just having those two guys on the floor with Steph Curry on the outside. Oh my gosh. And then throwing post. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm going to say this. Shyam Natajaran in the chat is predicting the Warriors finishing 47 and 35, and then adding that he or she, I apologize for not knowing the gender, sees like a Rockets type run in 95 where the Rockets were a 6 seed and won the championship. Here's my message to Dub Nation right now. And I'm confident saying this. If you're feeling it, continue on, man. This team has something special, dude. I'm trying to contain my excitement. I want to freaking scream right now. Like, that's all I want to do. I want to just yell, and I want to go out and get hammered drunk and celebrate with a bunch of strangers. I'm not going to do that because I'm getting too old for that shit. But my point is, that's how I'm feeling about this Warriors team, man. I'm feeling it. They've got something special cooking here, dude. I can't believe the amount of people who still rule Stephen Curry out. It's insane. He's one of the all-time greats, and you're ruling him out. You're counting out Stephen Curry. Draymond Green's one of the greatest defensive players ever, and and not to mention an elite offensive facilitator. You're counting him out. Jimmy Butler carried the Miami Heat on his back to 2 NBA Finals with that supporting cast, and now he's not even the best player on this Warriors team. Dude, I'm ready to go ape shit crazy in regards to how I'm feeling about this Warriors team. They're good. They're damn good. They can win a title this year. I might get a Steve Kerr tattoo. It's insane what's going on here, man. And I'm ready for it, dude. I'm ready for the ride.
This is what I'm saying. Look, I've already felt like I've been on too long, but look, if you know ball, like you can see that there is something cooking here, and you know what? There is a bit of magic sprinkled in there. And I thought that was just magic before, but it's not magic. It's Steph Curry. All right. Dude, so so look, if you just put around some pieces around Steph Curry, I mean, I was listening to 95.7 The Game. Shout out. I know that's your old employer. Oh
no, KNBR was. But go ahead, yeah.
Okay, sorry. But look, they were asking who's the biggest X factor in this run, and everybody was saying JK. But to me, it's Steph Curry. Like, who else is there? Like, this guy can take us to places that we have never been. Like, I've been a fan for as long as I've been alive, and this guy has spoiled me rotten,
big time.
Yep. Spoiled me rotten, and now to have this, not only just the way that this season has been playing out, but also the way that the schedule is going to look like for the rest of us. Look, I might be naive and blame Steph Curry, but the way that it's set up for us right now, and Jimmy Butler into that mix, we can make something special here.
Agreed. And look, man, Stephen Curry, I've been watching ball as long as I can remember as well. And, you know, I'm 46, dude. So I've been watching hoops for, I think, 40 years now. And in my 40 years of watching basketball, I've only seen one, maybe two other players who have attained the level of greatness that Stephen Curry is at right now. There's a few. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tim Duncan. Anyone else? I think that's it, right? And Stephen Curry's at Kobe Bryant. And Stephen Curry's at that level, which is a huge reason why you get the passion from me these last 2+ years, because a player of Stephen Curry's magnitude, to me, four championships, it's incredible, but it doesn't do a player of his level of greatness justice. I want 5, man. Call me greedy. Call me whatever the hell you want. 5 championships is what I think Stephen Curry is deserving of for the level of greatness that he has achieved. And all he needed to get there is help. And he got it, dude. So I'm pumped, man. I'm fascinated to see where this is going to go this year. Do you want to stick around real fast, Fozzie, and hear? And Leo Giancarlo, I'm going to wrap up with you.
I'll leave you with this. I know you got a show going on. You are doing a great job, bro. But
thank you, brother.
I'll also say this before I jump for the door. Man, we're not just fans over here just drooling over the last 4 games that Jimmy Butler has been here, right?
No, 5, yeah.
5, right? So it's not something that we're just, oh, Jimmy G's been here for 5 games. He's going to change this whole organization around. It's the product on the floor that we're seeing. This is the same team, or this Kings team, which got worse, blew us out earlier this year. And now the tables have turned. And you know what? It's like a breath of fresh air. It's like we've been revived. I play a lot of video games, man. If you're over there like dead and somebody comes to revive you, you get a second life. That is what we do. That is what it feels like, man. And you know what? We should be excited. We should be.
We should agree. We should be. By the way, Patrick Stubbs in the chat. If this stat is true, this is crazy. Patrick writing that the Warriors are now 8-0 when Moses Moody starts. I got to do my research myself to confirm that, but it makes sense. And if that's true, when Jonathan Kuminga comes back, you better do one of 2 things: either keep this starting lineup the way it is, and then have Kuminga be one of your closers, and he still has to get 30+ minutes, or swap out Brandin Podziemski for Jonathan Kuminga in the starting 5.
You know what? I don't know if that stat is right or not, but if it is true, the only reason why he hasn't got more play is just because we have too many players, man. The bench was too deep. We gave him a contract and stuff like that, but there were more vet. We all know Steve Kerr loves the vets, so there were other players before him. But yeah, that kind of sounds right to me. I'll go back and do the.
There's a few people. There 3 other people in the chat are confirming it. So I mean, it's usually the chat. This audience is very smart, man, and I give all of you a lot of respect. For that.
I'm in the chat all the time, so I know, man. I don't right, but look, I don't want to take any more of your time, dude. Keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you, brother.
I'm in here every night. Get to the rest of the callers, man. But I'm saying 20-5, 20-6, whatever the number is, it's not out of our reach, guys.
It's not.
Cheers, brother.
Great call. Thank you so much, Fazzy. I really do appreciate it, man. And Leo Giancarlo, I'm gonna go to you in 1 second because I want to play this one final soundbite first, and this is courtesy of Anthony Slater, who had a chance to interview Jimmy Butler in the visiting locker room after tonight's game. And so Jimmy Butler is talking about his no turnover mindset. The Golden State Warriors tonight committed 12 turnovers total, which is not bad. It's not great. It's kind of like middle of the road. Jimmy Butler himself had 0 turnovers. And this was Butler talking to Anthony Slater immediately after the game, discussing his no turnover mindset. Turn the volume up on your device, please, just because when Slater interviews these folks, the sound is coming from his phone. But here is Jimmy Butler after tonight's 132-106 win over the Sacramento Kings.
Slow it down and just get a shot on goal. That's all I ever think. Don't turn the ball over and make sure that we just get a shot, whether I get fouled or I can get the ball out to somebody that I know they know to shoot this ball. That's what it's always down to, getting to the paint. And I know that somebody's going to come over and help and throw it to the guy that came over and helped on my day.
Would you consider that a soccer mindset? I mean, even you just saying shot on goal.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. I mean, I know you like soccer.
I do. I love it. All right, peace, man. Yeah,
You got a tape cut on your back. Other side.
tape cutter. Yeah, I mean, we always talk about as long as we don't turn the ball over, we're always in a great position to win because we know we're going to score. That's like when we get careless with the ball. That's when we, since I've been here and from what they've told me, that's when teams come back in the game. That's when everybody's body language changes. So, shot on goal. I do love football. All good.
Do you standings watch at all?
Do I what?
Standings watch, like, oh, this team lost tonight, we gained a game.
No. I control what I can control, and that's we win. I got to worry about the standings. Keep winning.
Yeah, they're talking about 6 seed as a target. I mean, are you even at least embracing getting out of the play-in seems to be
win the rest of these games, and I guarantee you something's good going to happen.
Well, that's music to my ears. Jimmy Butler basically just saying he's focusing on what he can control, and that is the scoreboard. For the side note, I don't believe for a second that he's not paying attention to the standings. They all do, but I appreciate the message. Love it. That's how winners think and act. Leo Giancarlo, you will be our final audience member of the night. Joining the program. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How about you, Si?
Doing all right, man. What's on your mind?
The first thing I want to talk about is that the Warriors currently are number 1 in the league this season in points off of cuts. And I think that exemplifies perfectly why Kuminga is going to be so great with Jimmy Butler. Agreed. Because we saw right when Jimmy Butler got to this team, he was already throwing lobs to people. I think I can already picture in my mind Jonathan Kuminga off a back cut getting a lob from Jimmy Butler. Like the difference in his playmaking to Andrew Wiggins, like that is going to open up the back cut even more than it already is. From the Warriors already being the best cutting team, obviously we move the ball a lot. So that's where I wanted to start. I also wanted to comment on that starting lineup that you had pinned on one of the comments. I think that's like the perfect death lineup. I think Moses Moody should start over Brandin Podziemski when Kuminga comes back, and Kuminga should also start with them. I think Kuminga has obviously earned his starting spot. If he's not starting, that is ridiculous. I could see it happening with Steve Kerr, but he at least needs the 30 minutes a game, like you said. But I think Brandin Podziemski just makes more sense off the bench because he's more of like a ball handler. So, and he'd be perfect to come out for Steph, whereas Moses Moody is more of like a off-ball kind of scorer, like spot-up shooter. So I just think he works better with that lineup.
I agree. Agreed. I'm with you. I mean, look, realistically, there's going to be nights. I guarantee this, man. I do. There's going to be nights where we're all going to be a little frustrated because you're probably going to see Brandin Podziemski take minutes that a lot of us will be clamoring for Moody instead, or whereas you'll see Podziemski playing and you're going to be hoping, man, why can't we have Quentin Post out there to give him some size? Or there's going to be times where I think Podziemski will get minutes that we won't agree with. But at the same time, I don't think it's good. If it comes down to Podziemski or Moody as your fifth guy, I don't think Podziemski is going to tank your team. I don't think
so either.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, but Steve Kerr will do this. He sometimes will make decisions that result in a harder path for the Warriors to achieve wins and championships, but they still achieve it. 2018 is an example of that, where the JaVale McGee minutes in that Rocket series, it still blows my mind that Steve Kerr is like, we don't need McGee. Every time JaVale McGee was playing in that Rocket series, the Warriors were killing the Rockets, but then Steve Kerr kept reverting to the small ball lineup, and it ended up being a 7-game series that they needed the Rockets to shoot like absolute shit in Game 7 to win and move on. It would not have gotten to that point if JaVale McGee was playing more minutes in that series. I digress. The point is, you're probably going to see something like that happen here again, but I also don't think Brandin Podziemski will be the reason that the Warriors ultimately lose. Like, he's a gamer, dude, but I'm with you as well that Moses Moody is your best choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Honestly, I'm not worried about Podziemski at all. So Podziemski actually, I think he shot like 28 or something % from three across like the season until like a month ago. And in the last month, he shot 40%. And I know you mentioned him shooting really well in college, and it looks like he's found his shot because he's been shooting great recently. So I'm not even worried.
Podziemski shot his second year in college. He shot 43.8% when he played at Santa Clara. And then last year, the last month of the season, he was just shy, I think, of 60% from three, which is utterly insane.
Yeah.
His numbers this year, just piggybacking off what you said, in the month of February, Brandin Podziemski's shooting 27.8% from three, which doesn't make any sense. But then in January, which was a limited sample size because he didn't play a lot of games, he did shoot 45.2% from three in the month of January. And then in the month of December, he shot 42.5% from three. So his bad month was November, where he shot 22.2%.
Yeah.
And then this month, for whatever reason, it doesn't make sense.
Back down?
I'm looking at the game log right now. Podziemski in the month of February has shot just 27.8%, and that's largely because of games against the Lakers, where he was 0 of 3. Utah, he was 3 of 10. Milwaukee, he was 1 of 5. The Rockets game, he was 2 of 7. Tonight, even not a great shooting night from three. He was 2 of 9. You wouldn't think that watching it, but but look, this with taking that into consideration, I'm still confident in Podziemski's shooting.
Yeah, me too.
Area of concern.
I'm not super worried about Pods' game. Honestly, I'm a little bit more worried about Buddy Hield taking some minutes from Kuminga, but even he looked good tonight. So, like, I mean, obviously, I think Pods is a little bit better than Hield defensively, but I mean, I'm not mad at either of them playing. They're both great basketball players. So, like,
I'm gonna be mad if Buddy Hield is stealing Kuminga minutes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, then I would be upset.
I'm going to be upset. Yeah. And I saw in the chat, I think it was Jenny Vega who wrote take out Buddy Hield. He actually had a good night tonight, man. Buddy Hield again, 5 of 8 shooting from three. He had 22 points. But I feel you, Jenny. With all that said, I feel you.
No, absolutely. I mean, if we're looking at like in the playoffs, if Hield has like 1 or 2 bad games in the playoffs, like we just can't afford that. Like I will be mad if he's getting minutes over Podziemski or Kuminga if it's the playoffs and he's not playing well. Like Steve Kerr needs to recognize that. I think he will when the time comes, hopefully, or maybe Buddy Hield will just be playing better by then. So
agreed.
Hopefully we'll see that.
And then I want to address this real fast, and Leo, you can answer this with me. Raltz C is asking that we all know about playoff Jimmy Butler, right? And he made 2 NBA Finals, leading the Miami Heat, I believe, in 2020 and 2023. But Raltz is concerned about the fact that Jimmy's a little older and that he's now playing in the Western Conference, which is deeper and more talented. My response to that is, Jimmy Butler did not have Stephen Curry or Draymond Green when he was with Miami. So that's the counter. I'm not worried.
I mean, we're talking about the dude who beat the Celtics with that Heat team. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, he is. Exactly. I mean, he's 2 or 3 years older than when he did that. Like, that's not that much older. Jimmy Butler is still a hooper. Like, he's going to elevate this team a ton, especially in the playoffs. And like, also, Jimmy Butler just has this insane thing that in the playoffs, for some reason, he just is out of his mind. Like, people be talking about playoff Jimmy, but like even in the playoffs, when you watch those Heat series, like he's not much of a 3-point shooter, but he'll just hit like important shots because he just has that mindset that when he just needs to hit a shot, he'll just hit it sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Leo, what are you up to tonight, man? What's your plan for? It's Friday.
Honestly, I'm just chilling. I got work tomorrow, but not super early, so I'll be good.
Good. All right, man. Well, enjoy your week. I know it sucks you have to work. I'm sorry, but
no, that's fine.
Hope it's a good weekend. I forgot where you are, man. You've told me before.
I'm in Vacaville.
Oh,
so
you're
just outside the bay.
Tim Roy lives there too, man. The voice of the Golden State Warriors. He calls that area home as well. So good stuff, man. I like where you are because you're close. On one hand, you could just go to Tahoe. You can go to wine country. You can go to the Bay. Like,
it is perfectly in between Sacramento and the Bay. So if there's like anything to do in Sac, I'm right there. If there's anything in the Bay, I'm right there. It's like so good perfect.
Spot. It's a good spot. Nice Leo, man, thank you for the call. Any final thoughts?
I feel like I just owe it. My family owns a restaurant in Vacaville, so if you guys are in Vacaville, Napoli Pizzeria, great pizza joint. So
whoa. Hold on a second, man. It's called Napoli?
Napoli Pizzeria, yeah.
Oh, I gotta look this up, man. So what kind of pizza? Is it New York style? Is it thin crust? Like what do we do?
It's kind of just like a traditional American style, but you can we also have like an East Coast option where we like make it more like a New York style. So if you like a New York style, just order East Coast. So a lot of people do that.
Is this Napoli Pizzeria in Vallejo?
Yeah, it's the same one as so my grandpa opened the one in Vallejo in like I think 1968, and then my dad opened one in Vacaville.
So I know your family's restaurant. I've had it.
Yeah, we're pretty well known in Vallejo.
Dude, it's great food. Bravo.
Yeah.
Give a shout out one more time, man. How can people just tell people what the best way is to find the restaurant?
You can order. I know. Okay, so we sold the Vallejo store very recently because my grandpa is getting pretty old, so he's retired now. Good for him. But it's still great. We still watch over it a little bit. The new owner, we support the new owner, so I would still be great to go there. The food is exactly the same, so the food's still great there. Just look up Napoli Pizzeria, Vallejo or Vacaville, wherever you're trying to go. You can order online or over the phone, or you can just go in. So,
and your family still owns the Vacaville location?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still in the Vacaville location.
Cool, man. Well, congrats on being able to sell a location. That alone is not something every business can do. So bravo there, and folks. If you're in the Vacaville area, go check out a Napoli Pizza. Do you sell like meatball subs or?
Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff. We got wings, we got meatball subs, we got soup, all that.
All right. I might have to let you know when I'm in your neck of the woods. So
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll do that. Leo, thank you, brother. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Of course, brother. Of course. And this goes for everyone else as well. If you ever come on the show and want to promote something, promote away, please. I have no issue with that whatsoever. So go check out Napoli Pizza in Vacaville. And on that note, we are going to go over the scoreboard and call it a night, man. We're going to explore the standings real fast, see where the Warriors are. I haven't even looked at it myself yet, so I'm riveted in terms of seeing where the Warriors now stand in the Western Conference. I know for a fact they surpassed the Sacramento Kings tonight, but I don't know where they stand compared to Dallas and all that other stuff. So we'll do that. I got the tunes right. Yeah, so the music's playing. And let's go through the scoreboard. Yeah, Raymond M. Dollar bills, y'all. If there was a dancer here, it would complete the whole thing. But we'll keep this family friendly. All right. Elsewhere in the association, it is Friday, February 21st. And in addition to the Warriors beating the Kings, 132. I thought it was 132-106. But ESPN is showing 132-108. Was there 2 points added on there somewhere? Was it always 132-108? Does anyone in the chat know or understand what the hell happened that the score went from 132-106 to 132-108? I'm actually riveted about that. Where did those other 2 points come from? I know with certainty the final score of this game was 132-106. Now multiple sources are telling me it's 132-108. Where did those 2 points come from? I'm fascinated. All right. Well, regardless, Chardal, congratulations. You were right, because Chardal, what felt like an hour ago, I think it was an hour ago, was on the program saying that the score was 132-108. He was correct. Why did the score say 106 when this game ended? I'm still waiting for the chat to help me out here. No one has an answer. Okay. Well, regardless, I'll do that research myself when the show ends. Elsewhere in the association on this Friday, February 21st, the OKC Thunder improved to 45-10, taking care of business. They were up in Salt Lake tonight, beating the Utah Jazz 130-107. OKC improving again to 45-10. Utah dropping to 13-42. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 21 points, 8 assists, 3 blocks in the win. Keontae George, 20 points, 6 assists in the loss for the Utah Jazz. Adrian Gutierrez saying I need a dancing pole in the background. If the show ever gets to that point where the funds are available for that, I'm not ruling it out. There's a lot of space back here. Look, the chair can go. I can go back. There is room for a pole. But anyways, yeah, Fozzie, Char Google did strike again because Where the hell did those 2 points come from? Elsewhere in the association, the Houston Rockets defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight, a result that helps the Warriors because Minnesota is directly above them in the standings. 121-115, the final. Houston improves to 35-21. Minnesota drops to 31-25. That sounded identical. So Houston improves to 35-21. Minnesota is 31-25. If that sounded weird to you, is because it did sound weird. Jalen Green, 35 points in the win for the Rockets. Naz Reid, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks in the loss for Minnesota. Any answers on those 2 points? Love you too. Still no answer on those 2 points. Where did those 2 points come from? All right, elsewhere in the association, the Dallas Mavericks, the next opponent for your Golden State Warriors. 111-103 winners tonight at home, taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Dallas improves to 31-26. New Orleans drops to 13-43. Kyrie Irving, 35 points in the win. Zion Williamson, 29 points and 7 rebounds in the loss. The Detroit Pistons, 125-110 winners tonight over the San Antonio Spurs. Jalen Duren, 21 points, 15 rebounds in the win for Detroit, who improves to 30-26. San Antonio drops to 24-30. De'Aaron Fox, 27 points, 4 steals for San Antonio in the loss. The Miami Heat, 120-111 winners tonight over the Toronto Raptors. That game played just north of the border. Miami improving to 26-28. Toronto dropping to 17-39. Tyler Hero, 28 points, 7 assists in the win. RJ Barrett in the loss, 29 points for the Toronto Raptors. KH joining us from Japan. Right back at you, man. It's a long ways away. Gigablade saying that the Warriors' record with Jimmy Butler should be 5-0, adding that the Mavericks game was rigged. Agreed. That was a joke. I literally do not talk about it more because it pisses me off. Yeah, rigged is a fair word to apply to that game, and it's all the more reason why the Warriors hopefully will beat the ever-living shit out of that team on Sunday. Still no answer for the 2 points. It's just a mystery. All right, 3 more games on the night. The Milwaukee Bucks defeating the Washington Wizards 104-101. Milwaukee improves to 31-24. The Wizards dropping to 9-46. Brook Lopez, 18 points, 9 rebounds in the win. Sarr, love that guy for the Wizards, 22.7 rebounds in the defeat. 2 more games. The Memphis Grizzlies, 105-104 winners tonight over the Orlando Magic. That game played in the Magic Kingdom, the city of Orlando, Florida. Ja Morant, 23 points in the win. Franz Wagner, 25 points, 6 rebounds in the loss. And last but not least, the Cleveland Cavaliers took care of business, thumping the New York Knicks at home, 142-105. Donovan Mitchell, 27 points in the win. Karl Anthony Towns, 23 points, 7 rebounds in the loss for New York. That's your scoreboard. We're just going to end this show not knowing where those 2 points came from tonight. Oh, man, that's crazy. All right. And last but not least, the standings. With this win tonight, I stand corrected in terms of talking to myself there because I wanted to show my screen. Let me get it set up. There we go. So we can all look at the standings together. Been a while since the Warriors have moved or have made any movements in the Western Conference standings, but we do have a change tonight. So the Warriors are no longer the 10 seed. The Sacramento Kings are. The Kings are currently 10th at 28-28. The Golden State Warriors are currently 9th at 29 and 27. The Dallas Mavericks, being annoying as all hell, they just keep winning games despite being shorthanded. So Dallas is 31 and 26, a game and a half ahead of the Warriors, a game ahead of them in the loss column. The Minnesota Timberwolves are tied with Dallas in terms of record. Minnesota is currently 7th in the West. Dallas is 8th. Both teams 31 and 26. Both teams just a game and a half ahead of the Golden State Warriors. I'm curious to see if Dallas plays tomorrow real fast here, because I want to know what to expect for Sunday. So the Mavericks will not play again until Sunday, which means that even if the Warriors win on Sunday, they will not surpass Dallas, but they will pull to within a half game with that win. And Minnesota, in terms of their schedule, curious if they're going to play tomorrow or not. Let me look that up real fast. They will no. So Minnesota will not play again until Sunday. So Golden State, regardless of what happens Sunday, will still be the 9 seed. But the standings show you just how important every one of these games are. So hopefully, if the Warriors win Sunday, they will be within a half game of Dallas and maybe Minnesota. Minnesota plays OKC. Normally, you would think that's an easy win for the Thunder, but Minnesota always plays, or almost always plays OKC very tough, oftentimes beating them. The 6th seed in the West currently are the LA Clippers at 31 and 24. 3 games ahead of the Warriors in the loss column, 2.5 games ahead overall because of an uneven amount of wins and losses. So the Clippers are 31 and 24. The Warriors 29 and 27. The Warriors 2.5 games behind. The LA Clippers for the 6th seed. And then the LA Lakers are the 5 seed. They're 33 and 21. They're 6 games ahead of the Warriors in the loss column, 5 games ahead overall. So that's pretty much what we're looking at in terms of Golden State and who's ahead of them. The Houston Rockets are currently the 4 seed in the West at 35 and 21. They are 6 games ahead of the Golden State Warriors. I really do believe that the Warriors can catch the 4 seed. I don't think that's out of play. 3 might be a little tough. The 3 seed currently is Denver at 37 and 19. And they have an 8-game lead over the Golden State Warriors, both in terms of overall records and in the loss column. The Memphis Grizzlies and the Denver Nuggets are tied record-wise at 2. Both teams have a 37 and 19 record. So Memphis is currently 2nd in the West, Denver 3rd, but both teams have identical records. And then OKC all but has that top seed wrapped up. They're 45 and 10. They have a 16.5 game lead over the Golden State Warriors. One other team of note, the Phoenix Suns are currently the 11th seed in the West. Their record is 26 and 29, and they are a game and a half behind Sacramento for the 10 seed, and they are 2.5 games behind the Warriors for the 9 seed. So the Phoenix Suns are in a bad spot. And that's it. Oh, and Leo Giancarlo is asking, who do I want the Warriors to play in the first round? In other words, like, who are the ideal opponents? Well, if the season ended today, the play-in tournament, the way it would look is you would have Minnesota hosting Dallas. The winner of that game would get the 7th seed. Then you would have the Warriors hosting the Kings. The loser of that game would be out. The winner of that game would play the loser of the Minnesota-Dallas game, and that matchup will determine the 8th seed. So hypothetically, if the season ended today, the Warriors would play the Kings, and let's say they win that game, then the Warriors would play the loser of Minnesota-Dallas. So let's say hypothetically Dallas loses in Minnesota, then the Warriors would have to play the Mavericks, beat them. That game would be in Dallas. And if they won that game, then the Warriors would be the 8th seed, and it would set up a first-round matchup against the OKC Thunder. As crazy as this sounds, I like that matchup. I think the Warriors can beat the Thunder. It's crazy to me how many teams in not just the West, but the whole NBA have been trying to emulate what the Warriors have been doing with their dynasty. And what do any of these teams expect in terms of actually playing the Warriors? They created this style. They mastered this style. You have no chance in hell of beating the Warriors. So here's what I'm very confident of. OKC does not want to play the Warriors in the first round. I promise you that. So that's how the season would play out, or how the postseason would play out if the season ended today. And again, hypothetically, the only team I don't want Golden State to face in the first round or in any round is Denver. I really do believe the Warriors can beat anyone else. I do. I'm very confident that the Nuggets are the one obstacle, and then the Cavaliers are another one that worry me a little bit because of their size, but that's how I feel about it anyways. Otherwise, that's it. I love BC in the chat. I see you, Laker fan in there, trolling folks, but I also feel like everyone else can handle it. So no answer on those 2 points. It's okay. I'll try to save it for Sunday's show. One final note before we go here. So Sunday, we will not be live immediately following the Warriors and the Mavericks. Because I'm going to be at the game, and the original plan was to host right after, but Andre Iguodala's retirement ceremony is going to take place after the game, not before it. So I'm going to record a segment at Chase Center with Rick Barry, and then I'm going to drive home and then host a show here. So that should start somewhere around 6 o'clock is what I would guess. 6 o'clock Pacific time Sunday is when we will go live. So until then, I guess that's it. Baby Cakes, I'm with you. Keep Jimmy Butler upright and healthy. 100%. Ooh, Gilbert Arbalo saying that the over gods were smiling down tonight. I hope that means you won money. Gilbert also saying I forgot about the Lakers. You mean in the standings? I think I said they were fifth, 33-21, and they have a 5-game lead over the Warriors. So that's where the Lakers are. But if you're asking me that if you're bringing the Lakers up in terms of me forgetting about them being an impediment for the Warriors, being an obstacle that the Warriors cannot overcome, I've said this before and I'll say it again, man. That Anthony Davis trade took away the fear that I have of the LA Lakers for the Golden State Warriors. Anthony Davis and LeBron together were Warriors killers. I don't see LeBron and Luka being that same imposing, unstoppable force. I don't see it. Could be wrong. I just don't see it. There's one team in the West that scares the shit out of me. It's the Denver Nuggets. St. Patrick's Day, we'll find out what happens when those two play. All right, we're done. No answer on those 2 points. Unbelievable. Well, the final score, 132-108. It was 132-106. Somehow Sacramento scored an extra 2 points somewhere. I'm going to figure out what the hell happened there just because I want to know. I'm a curious person. I get curious. That's who I am. I want to know what happened to those 2 points. Anyways, we're done here. Go Dubs. Beautiful win. Big win. 26 games to go in the regular season. Should be fun, right, folks? Thank you again for joining me as always. Have a great rest of your weekend. It's only Friday. Enjoy that. Light them up if you got them. You know, that's what I'm about to do right now. Until then, thanks, everyone. Bye. Bye-bye.